Okay, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. This is meteorologist Steve Horstmeyer putting on the microphone, so it might sound a little staticky for a couple seconds here. And we're about to start the 7:15 live streaming weather show. All right. And it is 7:15 on my clock, and it is Friday, which is a good day, one of my favorite days of the week other than for Saturday and Sunday. Take a look at the time lapse from our Levy camera looking at downtown Cincinnati today. Starts a little bit after 2 o'clock. Watch the shower activity come through right there, right there. The shower activity, and the skies remain cloudy right now. There's some more shower activity on radar that is going to come through here in the next little while. So what we're going to look at here is we are going to take a look at what's going to happen over the next couple of weeks, and hopefully it give you some useful information. So now, okay, why is it not working here? All right, well, there we go. I'll hit another button. And this is our live Levy camera shot right there. I tell you what, somebody did it again. They moved the Levy camera. Once you time-lapse it, you can't move the Levy camera. I sent out an email last night. You can't move the Levy camera, but somebody didn't listen. Okay, so overall, we are talking about some additional shower activity this evening. This is our live shot from our tower cam, and you can see it's 68 degrees. You can see the low cloud cover and a little bit of shower activity in spots. Now, this is a graphic that Brad Moushart put together. Okay, it's the number of tornadoes this year so far by county. Notice that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 out of 25 counties have had tornadoes. The greatest number up in Warren County. There was 3 in Butler County, and those numbers may have gone up one since he made that graph. And those were all small tornadoes, those little leading edge spin-ups. And there's a county by county version of it, and Brad has posted that to his social media accounts. The total is 13, and if you look at that, you say, wait a minute, all these numbers don't add up to 13. But some of those occurred in 2 counties. For example, a couple of the tornadoes started in Warren and went over into Clinton County, things like that. And so the county by county number does not necessarily agree with the total number. Now, speaking of the possibility of severe weather, take a look at what we call severe thunderstorm energy, okay? And that starts this evening. And now watch what happens. What I want you to watch in particular is what happens here to the east of the Rocky Mountains, the high slopes of the Great Plains. And you know, I'm going to give it to you full screen, but while I'm doing that, it is awfully warm in here. I'm going to take my jacket off. So there you go. There it is. Now we're going to put this into motion and watch what happens. Look at that thunderstorm energy build there in the high plains. It moves eastward, and as it moves eastward, it begins to weaken. By the time it comes through Cincinnati on Tuesday, actually maybe late Monday night and Tuesday, it's weakened quite a bit, and we're done with it. We can look at that animation one more time if you prefer. Let's see, let's get back to it here. All right, well, first of all, the Storm Prediction Center has put us in a slight risk of severe storms for the entire Fox 19 Now viewing area. That covers the 24-hour period from 8 a.m. Tuesday to 8 a.m. Wednesday. And again, here's that the thunderstorm energy that we're looking at. You're talking about it building up on the eastern slopes of the Rockies and the high plains, pushing eastward, losing a little bit of its oomph as it moves through here. But you still see every once in a while, you see enough pop up to give us concern about what may be coming our way. So let's back the timeline up here a little bit. Okay. And right there, okay, you see that grayish-white color that is around the Fox 19 Now viewing area, this right in here, and this is 4:40 p.m. on Tuesday. And so some of the models say there's a chance of some severe storms before dawn Tuesday, then again in the afternoon on Tuesday. And so this is what we've been talking about. Remember, I started talking about this with you on Monday. And watched it over the weekend, and once the models on Monday continued to say, decided to talk about it. And then on Wednesday, actually Tuesday and Wednesday, the Storm Prediction Center started to put it in their longer-term convective outlook. And so we are going to have to keep an eye on Tuesday for the possibility of severe weather around the tri-state. And I've let you know about it since Monday, so it should not be a surprise that that is possibly on the way. And a lot of things can happen before it gets here. A lot of things can change what happens. So just too many things have to come together in just the right way to be precise about it. But remember, Tuesday could be a day with severe weather, not only the morning, but at the afternoon and evening also. And there's that slight risk of severe storms, level 2 out of 5, put out by the Storm Prediction Center. And the Storm Prediction Center says that mainly straight line winds, possibly some large hail. But by the time it gets here, and one of the things we know now is by the time it gets here, that may change a lot. We also know whenever you have a line of strong storms coming through, there's enough rotation generated that we could see those little leading edge spin-ups. What happens here is the wind at ground level is blowing at a certain velocity. At a higher velocity, a few hundred to a couple thousand feet up, the wind is like this, okay? So what happens is, as the winds up here are blowing faster and faster and faster, what you're doing is you're pushing the top of the layer of air that's here, that's this thick, you're pushing the top of the layer of air faster so it begins to rotate like this, okay? So you're imparting rotation into the air. Well, when you get a line of thunderstorms coming in, you've got the cool air, it begins to get lifted and pulled up into the storm. So the air gets lifted, pulled up into the storm. So you've got rotation going like this, and it lifts it and pulls up into the storm. The storm then stretches it, and just like an ice skater at the end of his or her routine, spins very, very fast, pulls everything down like this. That's what happens because you've got the air the rotation starts because of what we call wind shear. That rotation is tilted up and pulled up into the updraft of the thunderstorm. That thunderstorm updraft stretches it, okay, so it becomes thinner and spins faster and faster and faster. And that's basically how a tornado, one of those leading edge tornadoes works. And one of the interesting thing is when I first started studying meteorology back in, oh my gosh, like 1970, 71 actually. In 1971, nobody really knew where the rotation came from a thunderstorm. I mean, it just didn't, where does all that tornadic rotation come from? Well, now we know it's imported into the storm by the updraft. The updraft stretches it, and instead of being a fat tube, it becomes a narrower and narrower and narrower tube, and at the same time, it rotates faster and faster and faster. And that's where those tornadoes come from, and that's something we did not really know when I first started studying weather. Now we not only know it, but we can see it on Doppler radar as it happens. And a number of times, we had 2 incidents of severe weather a couple weeks ago, and both times we were able to call the tornadoes just by seeing the rotation that Doppler radar showed us. Okay, so here is the latest, and you can see in the upper right-hand corner that says the number of lightning strikes, 270, 263 in the last 30 minutes, okay? And that is for the entire map area, all right? It's not just for one spot, it's for the entire map area. And if you look at it closely, you can see none of these storms is severe. They're all going to move through and be out of here before dawn on Saturday. And if we zoom in a little bit, you can see that we do have some shower and thunderstorm activity coming into the tri-state. Now, I turned off the lightning on this so that we could see what's going on. But let me move the map a little bit further to the east like this, okay? So, something happened here. Well, I'll tell you what, let's just go back to the original. All right, so there you see the line of showers and thunderstorms. There's some activity from south of Wilmington, down through the Blanchester area, down to just west of Batavia into Anderson Township. That activity then continues off to the west, right through downtown Cincinnati. And tell you what, you can see there's some moving into Lawrenceburg, and then there's more down this way. Now, if I go and turn the lightning on, no, the lightning is on. Why is it not showing? So we just saw it. Okay, it is showing. It's just lightning bolts. Okay, here we go. You see the lightning bolts that are in, let me go like this. There are lightning bolts right in here, but they're a different color because as the lightning gets older and older, or the location where the lightning was gets older and older, the bolts change to a gray. You can see the new ones right in here, okay? So there's some lightning coming in there. So right now there's lightning and thunder just outside of our viewing area, around the Madison, Indiana area too. Okay, there's more lightning and thunder off to the north and west. There's another line of shower and thunderstorm activity. Again, nothing severe. And then down in the southeast, it looks like it's finally beginning to move out of Lewis County. Okay, so Poplar Flats dry now. So Kinnikinnick's got a little lightning and thunder right up there in Vanceburg. You can see they're right on the edge of the rainfall. That's going to lighten up a little bit. And as we zoom back out, we've got more of that coming. Every once in a while, we'll have some shower and thunderstorm activity this evening, but nothing severe. It's all gone for Saturday morning, and your weekend is looking dry at the present time. Okay, so there again is another look at Lewis County. Here's what the model said. It said, now the model's a little bit overdoing the rainfall, but watch what happens here. Breaks up a lot by 11:10. We've got a few scattered showers by 3:20 a.m., and then it's a done deal. By 7 a.m., it's dry, the cloud cover's starting to break up, and we end up with a gradual clearing through the day on Saturday, sunshine on Sunday, and not even any rain on Monday. And then Tuesday, right there, is the day that we have the shower and thunderstorm activity. That shower and thunderstorm activity could be here early in the morning and then a second round later in the day, and I'm betting on the later in the day one being severe at this point. Then there's one later in the day. Wednesday morning, we've got some showers. It looks like some showers and thunderstorms Thursday, some showers and thunderstorms Friday before it finally goes away, and then it dries out, it looks like, for Flying Pig weekend. Temperatures right now in the 60s and low 70s around the tri-state. The sun sets at 8:25, so that's 59 minutes from now. Heading for 64 by 11 o'clock overnight, down into the low 50s, so a mild night. And notice that by 6 a.m., the icons say the showers are dry. I think it's going to be a little bit before 4 a.m. that the showers come to an end. And then tomorrow up to 65 degrees for the high with gradual clearing throughout the day. Excuse me for a second. I got to take a little sip of Diet Mountain Dew here. Okay, that regenerated my throat a little bit. So you can see that we're near normal, maybe on the edge of a little bit warmer than normal. Through the 5th of May, according to the Climate Prediction Center. We're about the same near normal as we head to the 9th of May, and I'll show you what that looks like on our graph coming up. This is brand new, just came out today. This is the update for weeks 3 to 4. Goes out to May 21st, says we're going to be warmer than normal. Not hot, but warmer than normal, okay? And precipitation through the 5th of May, a little bit higher than normal. A little bit lower than normal through the 9th of May, and then near normal through the 21st of May. So you can account on maybe several days in the 80s as we head through May, and enough rain to keep your garden, and in most cases the farmers, happy with the amount of rain we're getting. So here is your 7-day forecast. Looking at a low overnight of 54, a high tomorrow 65. Tomorrow, FC Cincinnati plays at TQL Stadium. That starts at 2:30 p.m. and it looks like a great day for soccer. High thin clouds on Sunday, the low 42, so kind of cool in the morning, the high 64. 50 and 75 on Monday. The Reds are back in town Monday, and they play there. And then Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, I've got showers and thunderstorms in the forecast. Just scattered stuff, no organized system other than Tuesday. So Wednesday and Thursday, just hit and miss stuff. Tuesday's the day we could see that severe weather. And then Friday, looks like it'll be clearing and comfortable. And what's important about Friday? Friday, clearing and comfortable weather. It is the first fireworks Friday of the season down at Great American Ballpark. So the weather should cooperate for that. Remember, the one that was supposed to be the first had to be canceled because of the river flooding situation around the tri-state. Okay, we go to beyond the 7-day forecast now. And you see high temperatures in the 60s for the first 2 days and then in the 70s for the rest. And remember the maps we saw from the Climate Prediction Center a couple minutes ago? Okay, can you hear me? Okay, there it is. It's back. Audio quit there for a minute. It said that we're going to be hugging normal, be right near normal for a while, and low temperatures well above freezing. So here's what that looks like then when we go to the other graph. Okay, there are the high temperatures coming up right there, the low temperatures down below. Put the normal lines on, and you can see that we go from a little bit below normal to just about normal on the high temperature side, just about normal on the low temperature side. So we're going to kind of hug normal with precipitation going from a little bit above normal to a little bit below normal, and then kind of being normal as we had toward the first part of the month of June. Okay. Man, I feel like I've been talking a lot today. Well, and I have. But let's go ahead and take a look at what's going on. Let's see if anybody on Facebook has got anything to say. Susan Wally, hello. We've got, they've been in Paris, Kentucky. That's, I think it's her daughter that lives down that way. And yeah, it's rained all day down south. Lots of rainfall down in Paris, Kentucky. Jane Lawson says, interesting. I think she means about the way the tornadoes form. Grace Grubb liked that too. Well, good. I'm glad. I hope that gave you some idea of how that stuff forms and what we look for. And so I guess the key to this is, give me 1 second here. The key to this is if we know that the winds cause the rotation and that rotation gets concentrated and sucked up into the thunderstorms, if we can see the winds that in certain configuration of wind won't cause rotation, certain configurations will, and we see the right wind configuration through the atmosphere, that's when we know we're possibly going to have some tornadoes. And so it's a very helpful way of looking at it. Always good to know how it forms so that you can forecast it. So Melvin, it's not going to rain tomorrow. It's going to stop overnight, and you should have dry weather tomorrow, Melvin. And hello to Bob McIlvain. I hope that you like that. And she said not only is Paris, Kentucky, but Mount Orb got drenched too. Yeah, it rained a lot. And I'm kind of happy because if you remember, I told you last year I tore out I don't have a big front lawn, but I tore it all out and I put wildflowers in to help the bees and the butterflies, and they're already coming up like crazy and they needed some water. I was going to have to water tomorrow if we didn't get some rain, and we got it. So Geraldine Keith Anderson says hello from Owenton, Kentucky. Hello, Geraldine. Hello to Georgia Sturgill. Philip Wills, hello to you. Libby Furless, I think I said that right, Lily. If not, sorry. She says, hey. Hey, okay, so it says, hope you had a great week. This is from Sam McMillan. Wants to know what I think about the winter or the summer forecast. Okay, is it going to be hot and dry like last year, or is it going to cool down a little bit? So I tell you what. I've been so busy with other stuff, I haven't paid a lot of attention to it, but let me go and take a quick look here. And I'll give you an idea of what the Climate Prediction Center is saying. So, and we'll talk about that very quickly, okay? Okay, the outlook for the seasonal temperature outlook for June, July, and August, okay? So that's typically what we consider summer. It's meteorological summer. Even though astronomical summer doesn't begin till like the 21st or so, give or take a day, of June, meteorological summer are the 3 months that are kind of centered on the warmest part of the year, and that's June, July, and August. So for June, July, and August, the Climate Prediction Center says we are going to be slightly warmer than normal. So that doesn't mean no hot days, but that means on the average it won't be a blistering summer. And they give us about normal precipitation. That's for June, July, and August. Okay, so that is, let's see what else they have out here. July, August, and September, they keep it the same. Okay, August, September, October, it's basically the same. So warmer than normal, but not extreme, and about normal precipitation. September, October, November, same thing. So all the way through winter into fall, all the indications according to the Climate Prediction Center that we won't have an extended drought like we had last year. Okay, now that doesn't mean we won't have 4 or 5 days, maybe even 7 days in a row without rain and on the warmer side. But last year was way, way out of control. We had like 3.5 weeks at my house without a drop of rain, or maybe more in one spot. So according to what the Climate Prediction Center says, it does not look. It'll be warmer than normal, which means if you're worrying about your air conditioning bill, you'll probably pay a little bit more than average for your air conditioning. Rainfall-wise, looks about normal. So if that comes true, you won't have to do a lot of watering in your garden. But even on days like that, even when you have normal precipitation, sometimes you have to water the garden depending on the soil type and the other local factors. So that is that. Let me see what else we have here. So Sam, that's what the Climate Prediction Center says. Okay, Jennifer Claiborne wants to know, is it likely they will upgrade from a slight risk? It's kind of really hard to tell, but if you, and I'm just gonna, this is not a specific forecast, but, and it's not based on this specific instance, but the way it looks to me, I think we'll probably go into an enhanced risk for the afternoon hours of Tuesday, the way it's looking right now. Now, that might change completely, but I don't know if it's likely, but I think there's equal chances that we'll end up with an enhanced risk of severe storms for Tuesday afternoon and evening, the way it looks right now. Okay? Sarah Baldridge says, hello from Falmouth, Kentucky. Spent a number of times when I've gone down on weather stories. And I remember back in '97, Sarah, I didn't work at this station. I worked at another one across town. And the rain gauge from the flood in '97 just got washed away. I mean, it was, so the Ohio River Forecast Center had no information on what the stage of the river was. But at the station I was at, we actually shot some video, and we had video of a reporter doing a stand-up. That's when the reporter's out on a location, talking on the camera, introducing the story. That's a stand-up. And so we forwarded as part of that video to the National Weather Service, because in the background was the main bridge there, and they could see from where it was on the bridge, they knew the stage and they knew what the river was doing. And so sometimes when you have an extreme flood like the one in '97 in Falmouth, just a little bit of video can really help the people that forecast that. So, and then Sarah also says Falmouth had some very heavy rain. Yeah, we watched it come through there. I mean, there were some really tough downpours. Luckily, it didn't last all that long. Sarah Baldridge says it was horrible. She remembers watching me when she was a kid. Okay, so you're younger than me, Sarah. She remembers watching as a kid during that flood. Yeah, it was a terrible flood. At one point, we were down at the riverfront on one of the elevated things along where the arena is, and an entire house was floating downstream. I mean, you just think of, oh my God, I hope the people got out of it. They've lost everything they owned, but it was horrible. Okay, Tina Bryant Gordon said she's from Crittenden, Kentucky, got 2 inches just today. And Tina, there were some spots not far from you. This one, they had a flash flood warning last night centered on DeMossville. And there was as much as 5.5 inches of rain there. Just to the east of that, there was a little bit more. And there were a couple spots that radar estimated rainfall was 6 inches. And luckily, and now not luckily for the people that are there, but luckily most of those high rainfall areas were in very rural areas. And for example, along the Licking River down near DeMossville, most of that land is floodplain land that is used for agriculture, and there are not a lot of homes or anything there. So even though they had extreme rain last night, there was only one report. At one point in time, about 5 p.m., water was washing over DeCourcy Pike. And that was near, right near where Plum Creek on the other side hits the Licking River. Okay, so Jennifer Claiborne says, that she remembers it because she works for a local fire department and they assisted in the flood. Yeah, the things to me, whoops, hit the mic. The thing to me that is most inspiring about when we get really horrible weather events that just rips people's lives apart is how the community can come together. And not just the community affected, but people from surrounding communities. All they want to do is give as much as they can and make everybody's life, comfortable and help them get back to where they were. And so that to me is very inspiring. After years and years of doing this, I've done it for 48 years. Every time there's a big weather disaster or a flood, you end up with people just doing as much as they can to help out. And I think that just shows what Americans are really all about, okay? We've got differences of opinion about all kinds of stuff, but when our neighbors, even if we disagree with them about something, need something, we're there to pitch in, and I think that's a great testament to the fabric of what we are. Okay, Joshua Clifford says, hi there from Hamilton. Hamilton, you'll see a few showers. You might get a clap or two of thunder. If you get a downpour, it'll be brief. It won't last very long. And before we get to sunrise tomorrow, the roads, everything will dry out and your weekend looks dry and nice. Although it's going to be kind of cloudy Saturday morning, it's just going to gradually clear out as we go through the day. Sunday looks mostly sunny. Sarah Baldwin says she's 41 years and not too young. Well, Sarah, my son will be 48 in December. So, but yeah, at 41, that you've got a good number of years of experience to build on and to give people advice about. So, hi to Joshua Clifford. Yeah, and the weather, okay, Sarah McMillan says she missed it when I was talking about the cooler weather coming in. Okay, so it looks like we're going to peak before the chance of severe thunderstorms gets here on Tuesday. We'll probably peak in the low 80s, and then we're going to cool off. Some models are still saying that there will be spots that reach the upper 30s in the few days after that, so it'll be like the 4th, 5th, and 6th of May. Some models are saying no, it'll only be in the 40s, but that's when we've got that chance. And it all depends on how much cool air pulls out of Canada, and then we go right back to about normal, as I showed you there. So, and then Tina Bryant Gordon said, yes, DeMossville is just down the road for me. Yeah, she only got about a tenth of an inch, and while they got 5 inches. Yeah, and you know, one of the radar indicated programs that I have said 5.5 inches. The one that we use on our weather computer said 4.5 inches. So yeah, 5 inches of rain. It's just a lot of rain. I mean, and luckily around the DeMossville area, I'm just assuming, it's been so long since I've been down that way, that most of the houses are built a little bit higher, and all the farmland and that's out there is down in the floodplain that is reserved for farming and doesn't have much in the way of structures and that. So. Anthony Tyler says, hi from Cleves. Hello, Anthony. All right. Let me review the 7-day forecast, and then I've got to call it a day. Okay, it's been nice chatting with everybody here. I kind of enjoy it. That's the best part of this. When we're on the air, you can't really do interactive. But this way, I like this streaming because I can get a feel for what's on your minds, and we can interact about it a little bit. I think we can give you a better idea of what's coming your way if we interact. So let's see. Okay, let's go to the 7-day forecast. And as soon as it comes up, I will put it full screen for you. Okay, and I don't know why it's running really slowly here, but it should come up any second. There it is. Okay, so your 7-day forecast looks like this. We've got a low tonight of 54, high tomorrow 65. The rain ends overnight. I think things will still be wet and a little bit soggy in spots, but at least no more rain coming down tomorrow morning, and then it gradually clears out through the day. Should dry out quite nicely through the day. Lots of sunshine with some high thin clouds on Sunday, 64 the high, up to 75 on Monday, and right now Monday looks dry. Earlier today it was looking wet, but the model trend is to push the rain off to the east. Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday each could have some shower and thunderstorm activity. Tuesday is the day we're watching for severe weather. Wednesday and Thursday would just be leftover showers and behind it. And then Friday it looks dry again, and that is the first day, that is the first time we're going to have Fireworks Friday again at Great American Ballpark. So it's always nice to have nice weather for that because a lot of families like to go to baseball games on Fireworks Friday because they kind of get more for their money. Take the kids down there, you can sit in the stands, you can see the fireworks, and you get a baseball game, and of course you got to have a hot dog when you go to the baseball park. And then of course you can see the fireworks. It makes a great evening for family fun. That's it, I've got to run. Thank you much for joining me. I'll be back on Monday. Tomorrow let's see, Jeff Creighton's in tomorrow morning, so we won't have a 10:15 weather. On Sunday morning, it'll be Catherine Bodak, and then Saturday and Sunday evening. But I'm trying to think. We've got so many things going on with the schedule. So Saturday and Sunday evening, both days will be Erin Ashley. She'll be in for both of those, and we'll have the 6 o'clock show then. So thanks for joining me. Have yourself a nice weekend, and enjoy the weather once it dries out.